English came from an older version of itself, which is part of the larger group of Anglo-Frisian, which came from an even larger group, West Germanic, which came from a big group, Proto-Germanic, and that came from the huge granddaddy, Proto-Indo-European, which actually split off into 6 big groups, also a bunch of tiny ones, but we'll get to that way later. English actually developed alongside some other languages, Scots, Yola, and Old Frisian turned into the North Frisian, Saterland Frisian, and West Frisian dialects. Anglo-Frisian's sibling was Old Saxon, that then led to the birth of Low German. Old High German led to Central German, which formed the basis for Standard German. Luxembourgish lived so close to France that it started to sound like French and became rich. Same story with Ripuarian, except they like the Dutch. Thuringian isn't really a different language but likes to do its own thing. Another dialect was so into kosher food that it became Yiddish. Upper German liked the mountains. Some of them even liked chocolate and skiing, and called themselves Alemannic or Swiss German. Austro-Bavarian was into bodybuilding, and Cimbrian liked Italian food. Low Franconian didn't like the mountains that much. They chose to live near the ocean. Some of them moved west and became West Franconian. Some liked cheese and windmills and became Old Dutch, and the Flemish liked to paint. Old Dutch decided they liked boats too now, so they became just Dutch. Some moved to South Africa and became Afrikaans. Others went south too, like East Franconian, but not Africa South. Can't decide between German or Dutch? Be both. Be Limburgish. North Germanic really liked cold places. Old Norse named themselves after their favorite direction, and then they became Vikings. Elfdalian was really small. Old Gutnish lived on a small island and was really small and then died. Old East Norse was more east than west. The Danish were Vikings that liked to play with Legos. The Swedish liked folding furniture and video games. Some preferred horror games. Old West Norse liked islands and long coastlines. Faroese likes small islands. Greenlandic Norse likes confusing names for islands. Icelandic is really big and strong for some reason. Norn prefers to live up here. Norwegians have a really high standard of living. East Germanic is mostly dead. Burgundian is mysterious and dead. Crimean Gothic and Gothic created architecture that inspired vampires. The Vandals were good at breaking stuff. Ooh la la, what a pretty Germanic tree.